Hi guys, Beth here, aka Mediagirl94. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another manga haul collection pickup, this time for the month of September 2024. Now I've had to split this month's haul into 3 piles. I have 2 piles of series that I have done multiple pickups for, and then like a random pile here of like first volumes and then just the odd volume from like a series that I'm currently reading. I couldn't pick them up all in one go. I tried and, well, let's just say they fell over and I was very embarrassed. Don't know why I told you guys that, but I did. These manga hauls, pretty self-explanatory. I'm going to share with you guys the manga that I bought the month of September. Now, I have actually made some notes off to the side. I actually collected this month from 4 different places. We had Worlds Apart, which in Liverpool I want to say is like an attachment or like an affiliation with Forbidden Planet. Liverpool does have a Forbidden Planet here, but for me Worlds Apart just has the better manga selection because they have a whole basement. I also bought from Waterstones. Yes, I know what you're thinking, Beth, you're a little bit bougie because those volumes are full prices. But I do have a Waterstones rewards card, so every £10 you spend you get a stamp, and then when you spend £100 you get £10 free. So yeah, I also bought from Travelling Man, that was like an online, and you get books and volumes at reduced prices. And then I bought 1 volume from eBay because I couldn't find the volume of manga anywhere and it was a little bit cheaper. So yeah. Price wise, I'm not quite sure because Worlds Apart has the 3 for 2 where you buy 3, you get the cheapest one free. eBay was relatively cheap. Travelling Man, like I said, because the volumes are like at a reduced cost. Really, Waterstones killed my bank account this month. Let's just go with that. Yeah, Waterstones. Whew, pricey. Anyway, before we begin, if you'd like to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking a like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified when I upload on this channel. Enough rambling, let's just dive straight into my September manga haul. Okay, the first pile we're going to look at has 6 volumes from 2 different series. The first one is volumes 3 and 4 of Rainbow Days. This is just like a really cute like shoujo beat series published by Viz. I got both of these volumes on Travelling Man, so it knocked off like £1, £1.50. But Viz in general, like most of their volumes are like $7.99 to like $8.99, like pushing. So they're actually one of the cheapest publishers around, so I highly recommend picking up Viz manga purely for the price, but purely for the fact that it has like one of the cheaper price tags right now. This is just a cute series. It follows like 4 like high school friends. They're all guys and they each have different personalities and they're just going about their lives, and it's like their interactions with like their other friends, like female friends, like love interests. It's high school. Some people don't like mangas that are set in high school, but I just think this is a really good series and I am obsessed, and I've actually ordered I think volume 5 to at least volume 11 on Travelling Man because I want to finish this series as soon as possible. So I kind of binged reading 1 through 4 and now I want to read the rest. But yeah, such a good shoujo beat series. The personalities are so distinctive and like the guys just get along so well that you go, okay, this is a series I highly recommend. It's cute, friendly, romance, drama, and you just want to protect some of these guys. And finishing off that first pile of 4 volumes is Rosin Blood. Okay, I'm going to put them down so I can show you the individual volumes. I picked up volume 2, volume 3, I love how I'm putting them in my hand here, volume 4, and volume 5. Now this is a short series because actually this series is only 5 volumes long. It is probably the shortest series that I probably have like owned and have completed that's on my shelf. when I heard it was only 5 volumes, I was like, what? Surely it should be more. You have Stella. She is the main girl. She has an accident and then she wakes up in a house full of vampires, and as you can see all the different vampires, you know, on the covers. And there is drama because she likes one particular vampire, but all the other vampires want her and are also trying to get her attention. There's drama, there's bloodlust, there's like lust, there's romance, there's death. I'm not going to spoil the series because I did actually binge all 5 volumes just so I could see. And it is actually a series where I actually think the fact they managed to cram so much into 5 volumes is pretty impressive. It might have done well if it had like maybe one more volume, you know, just to like polish out like the series and the characters. But for a series that decided, you know, we're only going to do like 5 volumes, like the characters, the interactions, the plot twists, and I'm like, okay, it's all in there, so it does work as 5 volumes. But I would have maybe liked 1 or 2 more volumes, but that could just be me. But if you want like a short series and you like vampires, I highly recommend checking it out. This is also Viz and Shoujo Beat, and these cost, new they would be $7.99, but I got these on Travelling Man, kind of like Rainbow Day, so they were at a reduced price. But this is such a good series, and I was trying to hold out until like my October manga haul, but I couldn't help myself, and so this is the perfect short vampire series. Okay, on to my second pile. This contains 4, 5, 6, 7 volumes from 2 series. The first series is like a pickup, and it is, ha ha ha, it is Given. This is a BL. It's one of my favourite BLs, and well, I decided to binge picking up the volumes. I picked up volume 5, volume 6, volume 7, and volume 8. Now, right now, I know they just released volume 9, but I've only got my hands up until 8. So, you know, I kind of am up to date with this series. It is just so well written. But like me, if you're a fan of BLs, you know the struggle. This series has been going on for years, and we've only just got like volume 9, so yeah. If you like BLs, you like hot guys, you like music, that's all I'm going to say, because I've actually recommended this series to like a few friends who have never read BLs before, and they've actually genuinely liked it. So I'm like, okay, it's intense, but apparently it's very friendly for like new readers. But yeah, I'll probably pick up volume 9 next month. I'm not too sure. It depends if I can get a good price for it, because these are published by Sublime, and these are $9.99 per volume. I actually got 5, 6, 7 at Worlds Apart, so I got it in the 3 for 2. So I actually got one of the $9.99 volumes for free, and then volume 8 I picked up on Travelling Man, so I got it at a reduced price. And I've just realised in my head saying 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how you can tell I'm British, because my mind immediately went to the Steps song, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now boot scooting baby, you're driving me crazy, my obsession for the Western. No, we're not going to sing Steps because this is BL. And it is a very good series, it's a very good anime. I highly recommend checking it out, and there is a reason it is so highly praised. But oh, the struggle for BLs are real. In the comments, share with me your favourite BL and just how long you have been waiting between volumes. And finishing off, pile number 2 is 3 volumes of Black Butler. Yes, I am actually picking up this series. And so we have volume 17, volume 18, and volume 19. 17 and 18 finish off like the private school arc, which is the series that just got recently done animated, and it's such a good arc. And volume 19, I believe it kicks off the next arc. I can't remember the name of the arc, but it's to do with like witches and like witchcraft and sorcery. So it's going to be a really good arc. It'll just be interesting how many years it takes to probably animate this arc, because trust me, it took a lot of time to get the school arc. So Black Butler, they be drip feeding us. But yeah, this series is actually pretty pricey. I want to say it's like $9.99 per volume. And the one thing I like about Black Butler is it has been $9.99 per volume from volume 1. And I believe there are currently over 30 volumes that have been published. So the fact that they have been really consistent with the price despite the successful anime, I'm actually really happy that they've just gone, nah, we're going to start expensive. So that way fans can't get mad if we start off like $7.99, then we jump to $8.99, then $9.99, and then $10.99. Oh, but yeah, I actually got these volumes from like different places. I got volume 17, I actually got from Worlds Apart. It was part of the 3 for 2. This was not the free volume, because I bought a volume that was also cheaper. Volume 18 I got from eBay, because this is the volume I couldn't find in any shops, and I couldn't find online for a decent price. And I actually got this for $7.99 on eBay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's new, and I was like, okay, that is a bargain. And then volume 19, I'm looking at my list, I got from Waterstones, so kind of like volume 17. It was full price. I feel like with some of these more expensive volumes, I'm more picky when I'm in a shop because I want clean spines. I want them to be perfect if I am spending my money. But yeah, Black Butler, it is an addictive series. It's got a very interesting dub. You can just go on YouTube and type in like Black Butler like dub on crack, and especially like the most recently done school arc. Oh, it is a dub that gets a lot of love, but it's a good series, strong characters. There's overarching stories and themes between the characters. There's always defined like arcs. And the arcs don't go on for like much more than like I believe like between like 3 and 5 volumes per arc. So they do wrap them up pretty quickly. So you know, I'm actually not sure how many volumes are in like the Witch, like the Magic, the next arc that I'm buying. But yeah, for $9.99, this has been a series that I have been collecting slowly ever since I started really collecting manga back in like 2019, 2020, when I decided I'm going to dedicate myself to spending my paycheck. But such a good series. I love the characters, and also look at these covers. Like seriously, a lot of love for this series. And the final and biggest pile is random volume 1s that I have picked up, and then just random odd volumes in series that I'm not sure if I'm going to complete. But yeah, let's just dive into this pile. Let's start off with, actually no, we're going to end with the random volume 1s. Let's just start with like the pickups. We have Seraph of the End volume 30. Oh, this is a series I have dedicated myself to, and I'm going to hold my hands up now and say it is a really good series. But the author hasn't really said when the series is going to end, and even though this is Viz, the volumes now are $8.99. I really want to say that when I first started collecting like volumes like 1, like to at least volume like 10, I want to say at some point they were $6.99 when I started. Then they did the leap to $7.99 after the anime, and now they are $8.99. So they're on the pricey end, and if the series shows no signs of ending, it's one of those series that, because I've committed, kind of like Fire Force, which I'm so happy that's over because my bank account was crying. This series, I am dedicated. If you like vampires, if you like drama with humans, it's kind of like a who's the good guy, who's the bad guy. However, Seraph of the End, it gets a little bit quirky. I would say like early 20s in terms of like the volumes, and so prepare yourself for a journey, because that is what this series is. But it's one of those series that I have committed to, and I hope it ends one day because my bank account can't take much more of this. Next up, we have Love's in Sight volume 3. This is like a really cute series that I picked up like the first couple of volumes like randomly, And oh my gosh, I quickly fell in love with like these two characters. You pretty much have like a delinquent like bad boy and the really cute girl who's like visually impaired, and it's kind of about like acceptance and her like accepting him because she can't see him. Unlike everyone else who judges him because he's a delinquent and he's like, oh, he's got like a reputation, she pretty much sees him for the real him and pretty much goes, it doesn't matter what you look like, it's pretty much who you are as like a person. And so he constantly wants to improve himself. It is such like an inclusive series, and the side characters are amazing. I am probably a little bit slightly more invested in some of the side characters, because there is one thing that's cringe about like the main two characters is he is older than her. There's not much of like an age gap between them, so it's not like, ugh, it's a little bit creepy. But he's obsessed with her in like the early 2 volumes, and he's like calls her like lady and is like very like kind of forthcoming, and she doesn't really tell him to stop, which is slightly a little bit cringe. But definitely by volume 2 that kind of like ironed out, and I was like, okay, I kind of enjoy the interactions more between these two characters. So yeah, if you want like a really nice, it is Viz as well, so you know what you're getting. It's $7.99 per volume, so I actually picked this up in Worlds Apart. It was actually one of my free volumes because you get the cheapest volume free. I'm not sure how many volumes are currently out in this series, but I'm enjoying reading it, and it's something different than what I was reading previously. Up next is volume 2 of, I can never pronounce it, Hitoroji My Hero. I don't think I pronounced that right. But yeah, this was a random pickup because I really enjoyed volume 1. However, this is a really pricey series. It is Kodansha. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to continue picking up this series, or if I do pick up this series, I feel like this is going to be a series I try and get second hand, because I don't think it is actually worth the price that it is. It's on what it's probably, is it the most pricey? No. No. The next volume of manga I'm going to show you is the priciest in this whole haul. But yeah, for the price, I definitely feel like if I'm going to continue collecting this, it's going to be second hand. I have seen the box set, and I'm like trying to work out whether or not is it worth it for the price. I could sell my first 2 volumes and just get the box set. But yeah, I like it. I love the characters, I love the interactions and like the story and just where this series is going. However, for me, it's the price that is like a little bit off-putting. So if I can get this second hand, or I can get it like cheaper, then I'm going to continue picking up this series. But for now, until that happens, this series is probably going to be on pause, because I have a few other series that I can kind of pick up for cheaper, and well, the cheaper a series, the more likely I am to pick it up. But yeah, love the characters. Fingers crossed I can find it cheaper. And the final volume in this pile is the most expensive in these manga hauls. It is Tokyo Revengers, and this is the Omnibus volumes 23 and 24. Look at my boy on the cover being a badass. I love the purple, especially with like the blonde and black hair. And then let's see, oh hello. Look who's on the I love like the inner like colour covers. But yeah, this series now costs $20.99 per volume. I honestly cannot remember, but like I've got like the series here on the shelf behind me. I want to say at least between the omnibuses, like volumes like 1, at least up until like volume 8. So like the first 4 omnibuses, I want to say they were pretty reasonable, and like they were either like 15 or 16, or I might be thinking of like the Full Metal Alchemist omnibus volumes that I collected at $15.99, but you kind of got 3 volumes in one, whereas here you're only getting 2 volumes. But yeah, this series had a price leap. I remember, I'm not sure if it was like towards like the mid-teens, where I picked up 1 volume and I was like, what the hell, $20.99? That is a price increase. There are 31 volumes in this series. I'm really confused, because if they're doing it in like omnibuses of like 2s, it makes sense up to volume 30. So is volume 31 going to be standalone, or will we get like a 3-in-1 for the final volume, and will it be hella expensive? I have committed to Tokyo Revengers. It is one of my favourite like manga series. It's one of my favourite like animes, and I'm obsessed with like the Tokyo like puzzle like game, gacha game, match 3 on like my mobile. So yeah, this is a series I've committed to, but at least I know there is an end in sight, so I kind of don't feel bad spending the money. Whereas like some series like Seraph at the End, when I don't know when that series is going to end, it could be like 40 odd volumes, and at that point I'm going to be crying in debt. But yeah, at least I know that, you know, this series is complete at 31 volumes, so I can kind of justify it, and I don't mind spending like $20.99 because it is bulky, it is very nice, and I think I'm just so like blind to my love for this series that I'm like, $20.99 is not bad. No! Not when I used to pay $15.99 for like the Full Metal Alchemist like 3-in-1 omnibuses that I at that time thought was really expensive. Say hello to Tokyo Revengers, the most expensive manga in this haul. And the final 4 volumes in this haul are just random volume 1s that I picked up. And trust me, I tell myself, right, I'm going to only collect the series that I've got ongoing, and then I walk into Waterstones where I picked up... Actually, were all 4 of these volumes? Yeah, all 4 of these volumes were Waterstones, so I actually paid full price for them. Yeah, so I'm a sucker apparently for starting new series, so the first one up is The Elusive Samurai. I really picked this up because I was obsessed with the cover. It is Viz, so that's $7.99. I'm not really sure about the story, but from what I can see here, there's like an heir to like... It's in medieval Japan. There's an 8-year-old who's like an heir, but then he gets like betrayed, and he's the rightful heir to the throne, but like him and his retainers like run away. And it's going to be kind of a story of him becoming the rightful heir, learning lessons, and pretty much taking the place as like the true leader. Yeah, this is a series I picked up purely because of the cover. So if you guys recommend it and you think I should continue picking it up, comments is the place to go. Because I know I can get this on like Kindle, so it could be a series that potentially I don't pick up physically, but I check out on my Kindle. But the character artwork on the cover. You know it's a good cover when I walk in and go, ooh, I'm buying this. I had no intention of buying this. This wasn't even on the list. I didn't even have a list when I went in that day. That's the dangerous thing with some of these series, especially this pile. If I go into a shop and I don't have like a list of what I'm after, I would just pick up random things that pique my interest. But yeah, The Elusive Samurai, that was my first random volume 1. Up next we have Sakamoto Days volume 1. Again, I saw the cover and went, oh, that's interesting. And pretty much it's about like a retired like hitman, like assassin, but he's kind of like let himself go now, so like he's older, he's not in that life. I believe it says here like bad guys. He has like a family, and like he's working in like a shop, but then people are trying to kill him, and they're like, you've got to come back to like the assassin hitman life. And I actually heard, I'm not sure if it's true, but I believe Netflix is maybe got the rights to like the anime, and I believe like the anime for this series comes out next year in 2025. So at the minute this volume cost $8.99, so I don't think there will be a price increase with this series, because I'm pretty sure there's at least 10 volumes out, but I'm not sure how many volumes there will be in the series, and we might get a price leap in the future on future volumes. But for like, I believe like the 10 plus volumes that are out now, they're probably going to be $8.99. I am a sucker for like hitmen and like assassins, and just the fact that it's this guy and like he's not your typical looking, but I guess we're going to get flashbacks to what he looked like in like his heyday. So I'm really intrigued how it's going to work out with like his family, his friends, and again, kind of like The Elusive Samurai, the cover kind of piqued my interest. So anyone out there writing like a manga or like a light novel series, if you've got a good enough cover, Beth will probably buy it. But yeah, let's move on to like my third random buy. Tamon's B-Side, Volume 1. When I actually posted my video on TikTok that I had bought random volumes, a comment actually said that this series is actually pretty good. And I know absolutely nothing about it. It is shoujo, it is biz, it's $7.99. I know there are a few volumes out, but I'm not sure how many volumes there is. But from what I heard, this actually started off as like a one-shot or like a shorter series that was published in a magazine, and then they just decided, oh, you know what, let's just make it into like a full-fledged series. So but yeah, for me, I was like, okay, pink hair, pink, bright, colourful, I'm in love. It follows pretty much this girl. I'm not quite sure what her job is, if she's like a cleaner or someone, but he is like a really famous idol, and it says here, oh, she is a housekeeper. High schooler. She works part-time as a housekeeper so she can afford her fangirl obsession with Tamon Fukuhara, which is him, so she's obsessed with him, her favourite member of boy band Face. When work sends her to the home of her idol, she discovers that the real Tamon couldn't be any more different than his wild and sexy on-stage persona. Tamon is an insecure mess in real life, and what's worse, he's threatening to quit. She refuses to let anyone stand in his way, least of all himself. What's a fangirl to do but roll up her sleeves and support her favourite singer with everything she's got? So it's one of those like, secret fangirls. It's going to be really interesting. I want to see like the character dynamics between the main girl and the main guy, and just like how like the other like members of his band come into things. But yeah, again, I actually didn't see the cover. I saw the spine. I saw the spine on the shelf and was like, oh. Then I saw the pink and I was like, you are going in my basket. All three of these volumes I actually bought from Waterstones. But by buying these two volumes, I actually hit my £100 in Waterstones. So I actually got this volume for free, because like I said in the introduction, Waterstones have a reward system. Every £10 you spend, you get a stamp. You get 10 stamps, so you spend £100. You get a free £10. So I actually didn't pay for this volume, so $7.99. So it left me like a couple of quid that's on my card. So technically, I can get like £2 off another volume. So this volume cost me nothing. So I don't actually feel guilty about this one. But these two, I'm not sure where I stand. And the final volume in my September manga haul is Kai X Yaku Bound by Law Volume 1. And I actually saw the spine first on the shelf and I was like, oh, red, black and white, that is a colour scheme I can get behind. And I remember first picking up, and I actually picked it up from the back, and I was like, okay, guns, tattoos, so like Yakuza, handcuffs, oh, what are we getting into? And then I saw the cover and I was like, oh, is this a bit of a BL? I know absolutely nothing about the series, but from what I can get from reading the blurb, these are the two main guys. One is like a police officer, like the other is a Yakuza. And they're kind of like enemies because the police and the Yakuza always clash. However, there is a cold case of like someone who died, who is the sister of one of them and someone else's mentor, and they are determined to uncover the truth, and the two secretly team up under the guise of lovers to try and pick up her trail. So in order to solve a cold case, they're like, oh, let's pretend to be lovers. You know, as you do. It also says here, the story that inspired the hit Japanese crime suspense genre. So did it get like a live action series? Because if it did, I might have to check it out, but that cover alone was enough to go in my basket. It is also like a very thin volume, so there's actually not much to it. And it was on the more expensive end. I want to say it was like either $11.99 or $12.99. I did take the price tag off. I really should keep the tags on so I can keep track of the prices, but this is pretty pricey. I'm not sure if it's ongoing, if the series is coming to an end. It could be one that potentially, like the Elusive Samurai, that I might try and get on my Kindle if I can for cheaper. But yeah, this is a great way to end a haul on a series I know nothing about, but I saw the cover and I was like, you are going in my basket. I'm a girl. I see two really good looking guys on a cover. I'm gonna buy it. But yeah, that just wraps up my September manga haul. I hope you guys learned something about, well, me and my taste in manga in the comments below. I'd love to hear, some of the manga that you guys have read the month of September. Do you have any recommendations for me? Because, well, I will read just about anything, as you can see from this haul, and I'm always willing to throw cash at random volume 1s, so do your worst in the comments below. But let's just wrap up this video before I continue to ramble. If you'd like to support me and the channel in the future, you can by clicking like to show me some love. You can click subscribe and tap that bell to be notified when I upload on this channel. At the end of this video, you can check out my last 2 videos or playlist depending on what mood I'm in when I'm editing this. Until next time, I'm Beth, Mediagirl94. Goodbye.